Hello viewers, I'm Wansundhe, a student at Aga Khan University Institute for Educational Development. I'm here to present a mini lecture about the manufacture of soap. We shall begin with the definition of soap. What is soap? The definition is that soap is a water-soluble sodium or potassium salt of a long-chain carboxylic acid obtained by boiling fats or oils with a concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. The important thing to note here is that soap is a salt of a long-chain carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid may have more than 10 carbon atoms in its molecule. So when we are making soap, we mix the oil or fat with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, then we boil. And the end result will be a salt, and that salt is called soap. Soap has two active parts. When you look at a soap molecule, you will see two active parts on a soap molecule. These active parts that are used in the working of soap are, one, the alkyl group, and the second one is the carboxylate group. These are the two parts that are responsible for the working of soap. And then we look at the alkyl groups. The alkyl groups are basically hydrocarbons, and we said this is a long chain carbon group which is hydrophobic part of the molecule and is responsible for dissolving the dirt. The alkyl group is nonpolar, and because it is nonpolar, it tends to dissolve the dirt, which is organic in nature. So we have the rule that like dissolves like. So this one being nonpolar, it will dissolve the organic compounds that make up the dirt. Then we have the carboxylate group, which is also part of the soap molecule. And we say that this is the hydrophilic part which dissolves in water. So this carboxylate group, this one here, we have drawn, is the one that is responsible for soap dissolving in water. We look at the process of the manufacture of soap from vegetable oils, and we are saying that the process by which soap is made from vegetable oils is called saponification. So saponification is the process by which soap is manufactured from vegetable oils. And then we look at the procedure. How does it take place? There are basically three steps that we take. The first one is that the oil is converted to the sodium salt or soap by boiling it with excess concentrated sodium hydroxide solution while stirring for a longer time until the oil dissolves. So you get the oil, and to it you add sodium hydroxide solution in excess, and then you boil. You boil until the oil dissolves. The product you get will be a mixture, and the part of it will be soap. The second step is that then concentrated sodium chloride solution is added to the mixture to precipitate the soap, which then floats on the surface of the mixture. So after we have formed the soap, and the soap is in the mixture in solution form, we now move to the next step where we add concentrated sodium hydroxide solution. The sodium ions will be in excess, and they will cause what we call common ion effect. So the high concentration of sodium ions will make soap to precipitate from the mixture. Then finally, dyes or perfumes or bleaching agents may be added to modify the properties of soap. Here we have an equation of reaction that occurs when soap is being formed from fats or oils. We have this one, this formula here. It is representing a fat or an oil. Then on it we are adding sodium hydroxide solution here. And when you add sodium hydroxide solution to the fat or oil, hydrolysis of the fat or oil will take place. We shall form a carboxylic acid and a glycol. But the carboxylic acid that is formed will react with the sodium hydroxide to form the salt. So we shall end up forming this salt, and this salt will be called the soap. And then the other product we form is the glycol. This one here, we have used the R to simply represent the alkyl groups that are contained within the ester molecules of the fat or oil. So this is the equation of reaction that takes place when soap is being formed from oil or fat. We have now reached the end of our preparation of soap, and we said there are 3 steps. One, use of concentrated sodium hydroxide and oil. We mix and we will heat to form the soap, and then precipitation of the soap by use of sodium chloride solution, and then adding other substances so that the soap may have its properties modified depending on the purposes for which you want to use that soap. So in summary, we are saying soap is a sodium or potassium salt of a long chain carboxylic acid. Soap is soluble in water. Its molecule has the polar and the non-polar parts. Soap is produced when an alkali is boiled with fats or oils, and the sodium chloride solution is added to the boiling soap mixture to precipitate soap. And then I've given an assignment for my viewers. The assignment is that assignment formal question: what is the structural difference between a soap molecule and a detergent molecule? You work on this, it will help you to understand more about working of soap and also the working of the detergents. I thank you for being good viewers.